Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Welcome back to Mufti. In this session, we're going to discuss the advantages or disadvantages, pros and cons of loose leaf tea versus tea bags. One of the oldest debates, one of the biggest debates, and one of the biggest stumps or problems that a person finds in accepting or entering into the wide world of tea and of teaism. Okay, and that is, how do I make the tea that's not in a bag? What do I need, or is it best to use the bags? So on and so forth. So you go in one tea shop in Chinatown, and an Asian woman, let's say she's from Taiwan, she tells you it's no way, it's impossible for you to use bags. Basically, as a Muslim, it's haram. Like, don't even think about using tea bags. It's shirk akbar. It's a major sin just thinking about a bag of tea. And then you go into another tea shop, let's say you're in Leicester, UK, okay, or let's say you're in Edinburgh, okay, somewhere in Europe, somewhere in whether it be the United Kingdom, so on and so forth, or in America, and a person says you have to use a tea bag. No one uses loose leaf tea anymore. Loose leaf tea is outdated. Loose leaf tea is unnecessarily difficult. Loose leaf tea is inconvenient. You can't travel. You can't be on a plane. You can't be on a bus. You can't be going to work with the tea leaves. So on. Just put the bag in the tea. It tastes the same. It's all the same. So on and so forth. And then you may meet someone who's in the middle, who says that there are advantages to the loose leaf and there are disadvantages to the bag. Potato, tomato. That depends on your prerogative, what you want to do, how you want to do it. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala surely knows best. So we want to objectively, briefly, of course, discuss some of the pros and cons of this. These are a few things that I wrote down and that I jotted down, and this is very important with regards to starting off your journey into the great, vast dominion of tea. Okay, so first and foremost, a few things, a few ideas to get into our heads, and I'm going to mention the terms. Number one is tea leaves versus tea dust. A leaf of tea versus dust. Just ponder and think about that. Number two, expert versus novice or beginner. Advanced versus a greenhorn, wet behind the ears, green. So just think about a stick shift versus an automatic, a car. What's best for me? Are you an expert driver or beginner? Think about depth of flavor, room to brew. Think about a steak, a big fat juicy ribeye steak, or porterhouse, filet mignon, right? Versus a hamburger, ground beef, ground lamb, ground turkey, or if you're a vegetarian or vegan or whatever, plant-based. But right now we're talking about meat right now, okay? Just think about the differences between those two entities. A steak that you cut through, that you can see, you can bite, you can, versus a hamburger that is composed of ground meat. Give or take, better, good, that depends on what you're into, but there's a difference between the two. All right? Room versus tightness. A steak versus ground beef. Actual pieces versus dust. Think about a wall, a piece of sheetrock. You knock down a wall, you're doing construction. There's a chunk of concrete or cement or the drywall, and this is just the dust, the particles. All right, so let's start off with the advantages or the pros of loose leaf tea. Number one, the proponents for loose leaf tea, let alone those who say that there's no such thing as a tea bag, hardcore, they say that loose leaf tea offers better quality. Number two, they say it offers better flavor. Number three is a better tea experience. Number four is greater variety. Number five is better for the environment. Number six, it has or provides more health benefits. Number seven is sticking or holding fast to tradition. Number eight is of greater freshness. Number nine, There is re-steeping potentiality. Number 10, a longer freshness. And number 11, longer brewing time. So those are 11 main pros for loose leaf tea. And we'll go back and explain them or shed some light upon them. As far as the advantages of tea bags, number 1, convenience. Number 2, consistency. Number 3, portability. Number 4, cost efficiency. Number 5, availability. And number 6, modernization. So we have 11 versus 6, according to what I wrote down. Obviously, based off of the mundane rules of mathematics, the leaves or the loose leaf tea would be superior by sheer force of number or numbers, 11 to 5, 2 to 1. Okay? Now, let's explain some of these points why loose leaf tea is better, according to the first madhab. Better quality, i.e., the metaphor or the example, or the similitude, the parable of the steak. It's common sense that the cut of meat from the cow that is going to be made for a steak is going to be better than the cut from the cow that is going to be used for ground beef. Chuck or top roast or so on and so forth is just of no comparison. Rather, within steak cuts, there are levels. The ribeye isn't like the tenderloin, isn't like the New York strip. The porterhouse isn't like the T-bone, the filet mignon, the juiciest, most tender part of the cow. The quality of the meat is just different, let alone you get to see it. Versus the ground beef, you don't know what's in it. If it's even ground beef, meat glue, ears, tongues, entrails, you don't know what's in that hot dog or what's in that patty or what type of chemicals or colors or preservatives. You don't know. You don't know unless you yourself take the beef and grind it yourself. Then that's a different story. And even when you grind the meat yourself, it's a waste of meat to put super high quality beef into something that you're going to grind up. You're going to use good beef, but you're not going to use the ribeye, right? It doesn't work like that. So they say that the tea leaves are just better quality, period. All right, you can see so on and so forth. Better flavor, it's bolder, it's more robust, okay? And a better tea experience, whereas you can see the tea, obviously you're going to smell the tea, you're going to taste the tea liquor, and you can feel the tea. You can put it in your hands, you can play with it, versus in a bag, you don't know what's behind that bag or what's in that bag. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala surely knows best. And this, like I said, with regards to the advanced teaism, someone who's advanced, he's looking for land, air, and sea. As far as a simple, basic tea drinker, put it in a cup, bismillah, khalas, that's it. All right, greater variety, that's a fact. You'll find hundreds, if not thousands, of flavors and styles and types of tea that is in loose leaf. There are different flavors in bags, different companies, but the loose leaf is just has greater depth of variety of flavor and better choices and better grades and qualities. It's better for the environment, whereas it's nothing that you're throwing away. There is no tea bag, regardless whether it's biodegradable or not. There is no tag, even though some tea companies such as Celestial Seasonings, they removed the tag for the environment. There's no string, there's no staple, there's nothing that's going in the trash. Rather, the person is going to take the tea that was steeped and brewed leaves and they can compost them, put them in the ground, back to the soil. Obviously, less trash, so on and so forth. The boxes, etc. Right? Okay, like, nowadays, you go to the market and there are no more bags. You have to bring your own bag, or you walk out the market with no bag, and some of them say because of the environment. And Allah surely knows best. All right, more health benefits. Obviously, fresher tea is better for you. The antioxidants, the reasons why people drink tea, they say they're stronger in the higher quality, finer grades of tea. Holding fast to tradition. It's the traditional way. I have my teapot, I have my strainer, I have my cup. I have the tea in the bottle of the gaiwan, the bottle of the teapot. I hold it. It's better than just a tea bag, which is like crude and new, and I need the leaves at the bottom of the pot, at the bottom of the cup, etc., etc. I need to dig into it or scoop into them. higher freshness, and this is because of oftentimes the loose leaf tea is seasonal, i.e., the fruit that you get that's always in season isn't always the freshest fruit or the most organic fruit, versus the tea, which is only available because of season. You know that it's fresh, and the bags aren't like that. They're always in a box, whether they're sealed, kept fresh or not, but it's always in a box. Moving forward, a higher re-steeping potential. Obviously, you can brew the loose leaf tea 2 to 3 times, depending on how good it is. Tea bag is just once. Once it's done, it's done. You throw it away. There's no more. All right. Longer freshness, obviously, and it allows for a longer brewing time. The tea bag is going to reach a cap. It's going to reach a peak, whereas the loose leaf tea is going to allow you to steep it and let it to sit and marinate, so on and so forth. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala surely knows best. So those are the main advantages or pros of the loose leaf. All right, let's move forward. The pros of tea bags: convenience. I don't need a strainer. I don't need a spoon. I don't need a dipper, big or little. I don't need nothing special. I just put the tea bag in, toss it. Khalas, bismillah, done. On the airplane, and the train station, on my way to work, running late, at 7-Eleven or Wawa, at the convenience store, hot water, tea bag, finished, done at work. It's convenient, no doubt about that. Number 2 is consistent. The loose leaf tea from this merchant is of this quality. It's like that. It tastes like this. It's in season. It's fresh. I let it sit. Blah, blah, blah. The tea bag is in most cases going to be consistent. It's going to give you the same flavor, the same style within all of the bags within the box. 24 bags, 32 bags, 100 bags, 10 bags, 12 bags. It's going to be consistent. And the leaves are different in their size, in their color, so on and so forth. Number 3, they're portable. It's easier to carry the bags in your pocket without a bag or satchel or pouch, so on and so forth. Even though you can argue with that, you can carry the loose leaf too if you really wanted to carry it. But for argument's sake, it's, just like that. You pull it out your pocket, right? Let alone a lot of tea can be packed in a relatively small box. Not like a big drum of loose leaf tea, which needs room to sit. It's like a pet that you have. A pet iguana, or a monitor, or a Gila monster, okay, or a bearded dragon, or whatever type of lizard or reptile that you may have, turtle, or a snake, whatever the case may be, amphibian, etc. That the bigger your tank, the larger your iguana will grow. The smaller your tank, the more stunted its growth will be. So the more space you have for your loose leaf tea, the more flavor is going to burst out, right, and become infused into your tea liquor. All right, cost efficiency. Some bags, tea bags cost, but of course they're always going to be cheaper than the loose leaf, and that's an advantage and a disadvantage. But everybody isn't that advanced. Everyone doesn't have that type of money. Everyone isn't willing to spend that type of money. Some people just want to enjoy a simple type of cup of tea, and we'll get into the 3 main types of tea drinkers in another video. And Allah knows best. Availability. You're always going to find in every single gas station, every single Starbucks or Costa or this place or that place, wherever you go, you're going to find Earl Grey tea bags. You can bet your bottom dollar. You're going to find English breakfast. You're going to find peppermint, etc., etc. But in the airport or the gas station or the train station, you're not always going to find tea Guan Yin. You're not always going to find Mao Fang. You're not always going to find silver needles. That's a fact. A modernization. Some people, they say, look, bro, we're not living in the Stone Age anymore. Things are different. Things are modern. Back in the day, they had this type of tea. We have bags, just like we have, rear view cameras and sensors on our cars. Parallel parking is easier. We have scopes and beams on handguns and rifles. We don't need to squint your eye and aim. That's old. We're not using CDs and tapes anymore, or 8-tracks, or this is a new age, new era. All right. So these are some of the advantages, and of course, from every advantage and from every pro, you can find and also see the disadvantage or the con. Because it's freshness, it's only available certain times. Because it's so cheap, it's of lesser quality. Because it's of old, then it's going, well, heck of that, right? So inshallah ta'ala, you guys figure out what's best for you, what works best for you. Me personally, I believe that the loose leaf, I don't believe, it's a fact. I know full yaqeen that the loose leaf tea is superior in general. That's a fact. But at the same time, I use tea bags. I use tea bags and I use loose leaf, and sometimes I make my own bags from my own loose leaf. So me personally, I merge between both ways. There is no one way which is going to be absolutely 101% superior all of the time. Like anything else in life. Hadith and fiqh, you merge the two. Chinese or Japanese martial arts, kung fu, we merge the two. How can that? East versus West, we merge the two. Antiquity versus modernity, we merge the two. We make a ratio, 60-40, 70-30, depending. We blend it, right? So I use tea bags, I use loose leaf. There lies no doubt tea bags have their benefit, depending on what type of tea you're making, who you're making it for, when you're making it. Tea bags have a great benefit. And then there are times which I wouldn't even think about using a tea bag, depending on the situation. Thanks a lot for watching. Allah surely knows best. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.